Hey guys, so sorry I haven't been able to put a video out in a few weeks. Well, this is what my shop looks like right now. We're redoing pretty much our whole house. So I haven't had time to be out here working. Alright guys, welcome back to part 3. So as you can see, I've got it all tacked out. And after I squared it up, I tacked it here, and that helps lock it all into place once it's squared. That way when you're welding out the corners, it doesn't pull hardly at all. Sometimes it'll pull a little bit. So what I have here are just the excess cuttings, the drops of all the angle iron that I cut out of these. And since I have tacks here on the bottom, this isn't going to sit flat. So what I do, whenever there's something that's tacked down here or that's been bent so it has that high crown on it, I'll grab some shims that are all the same height, lay those near the corner as much as you can in at least 4 sections, and clamp them down near that. And that'll keep it nice and light. Alright guys, so I dialed in my machine to 17 volts and 140 inches per minute on 030 ER70S6 wire. If you don't know how to dial in your machine, let me know, and if I get enough response, I'll make a video on how I get my range of settings for materials. Anyways, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be running this downhill, basically a dead-on with my torch. And this is thin material, so it's not as critical on thin material to go uphill. And also I want it to lay in there nice and flat. That's the main reason why I'm going to go downhill. I'm not just going to run straight, I'm going to do little circles. You can whip, but to me it leaves a higher crown than I like. And with this I want it to be nice and flat because one of the sides I'm probably going to grind down. So anyways, I'm going to go downhill nice and flat and just do small circles. And you want to be at a 45 with your material. You don't want to be over here or over here. As 45 as you can. Alright, so there's that weld. One reason I'm going downhill is not only does it make it nice and smooth, as you can see it's pretty flat, so if I grind it, I don't have to grind for very long, but it also, it doesn't penetrate very well when you go downhill. It's a lot harder for it. Uphill, it's real easy to penetrate. But on this, I didn't want any burn through at all. I was fine with just having fusion. And so that's exactly what I got with this. You can see both toes are in, and it laid in there nice and flat, and that's what I want. Alright, so it's cooled off now. So I'm going to check cross square. Looks like we nailed it with it. It's not going to move that much on the outside corners. Where it's going to move is right here, and that's why I do those first. Do the least, that way it'll lock everything in. If you're going to be doing, say this is 1/4 inch thick, and it's just going to be a fillet on both sides, what you want to do is come in, you want it tacked up nice and straight, and then you're going to come in and weld these corners, and that'll help lock it in. And you want to do it to where, it depends on it. It takes a lot of practice, but I'll have it open just a slight amount and then I'll come in and do my weld, and that'll pull it over, and hopefully it'll just pull it just past square so that when I weld this one, it'll come back to square. And then you can hit it around until it's nice and square. But that's an important thing, is to lock it in with the ones that are going to move the least before you get to the ones that are going to pull the most, if that makes sense. Alright, so now I'm going to weld these from the inside out. And I'm doing that because I find personally that it pulls less this way than it will to the inside. And I'm just going to do a slight forward movement, or a slight forward, so it lays nice and flat. Generally, you get better penetration if you go backhand. It's debatable, but generally that's true. But I get better fusion on my toes when I go forward. Alright, so it's all welded out now. So I'm going to check cross square, and we'll see how it came out. See if we need to do any hammering or anything. So this one is about dead center of it is 18.5 still. Let's check this one. Dead center at 18.5. I don't think we're gonna have to do any hitting on it, and that's gonna be because we welded these outside corners first and locked it all in. So when I welded these, it didn't matter what order I did them in. I still welded them to the outside to help in case there was any pulling, because I can guarantee there would have been some pulling if we did it the other way. So you see right there, it goes right into the center there. Nope. Right there, goes right to the center there. Nice and square. Once it's been welded, you can see there's high crown on it. So one way to check for flatness is to go ahead and put your shims back down. Make sure they're taller than your weld is. Alright. And then just go ahead and push down all over on it. And if you see any rocking right there, that means it's off a little bit somewhere. Let's see. That much. Less than a 32nd. I am not worried about that at all. That'll be just fine for this. Anyways, you can see I didn't even clamp it down on that last one, and it came out just fine. It probably would have came out perfect if I would have clamped it down, but I wasn't worried. Nice and flat. Alright, so I went ahead and took that board and I routed it. on the edge that's going to go down to the inside. And let's see how it fits now. Perfect. Take a look. Nice and smooth, straight all the way. So I don't know if I showed them off very well in the video, so I'll go ahead and show all the welds. These are the outside corners, and I did them all downhill. That way they'd be pretty flat, the flattest they could come out anyways. So that one of these back sides, I'm going to have to grind these off and put a bracket on it or something. So more than likely they'll be ground flat, and I hate grinding. I'd rather be a welder than a grinder. And also I did not need penetration. I didn't want it actually, so that that board would fit better and I wouldn't have to figure out a way to grind it. And there's those. There's the, what I'm calling finished product of this video. Thanks for watching. Like the video if it helped you at all, and subscribe for more future videos. Drop comments of videos you'd like to see or questions you need answered, and I'll try to get to them for you.